We're gonna get started. I think. Oh, there we go. All right, day 9. Let's go ahead and get moving. All right, hop this on over to this day. Oh wait, uh-oh. All right, day 9. Oh, I wasn't muted on Instagram. Oops. And there we go. All right, we're gonna move this there. We're gonna get started. Um, did I not stream? Did I not stream yesterday? I think I did. Wait, no. Yeah, today's Tuesday. Oh, yesterday I selected the one for Sunday. Oops. Oh well. Alright, regardless. Okay, so yesterday was, I wasn't able to KSL listing because apparently they're charging to list things for Facebook, but, or I mean for businesses. Got that done. I did start working on the SaaS for contractors. I was like trying to, but I was not feeling good towards the end of my work time yesterday, and so I had to cut back off on that. Still need to make Jack an email, but I feel good about how things went. So my today tasks are going to again, we're going to actually cold pitch the contractor. We're going to make Jack a business email. We're going to, as far as the primary tasks, well, I should add, begin implementing new business fast plan. So I did a fair bit of work, yeah, setting up that plan. In fact, I should go up here real quick. Where's the generate first class? Project architect agent did a review of the plan that I worked on yesterday. I found some issues, so I want to go ahead get that going, and then oh, I need to drink some water. Okay. Yeah, Page Pattern classified as a newsletter platform with a marketing landing page layout. Interesting. Okay. I just want to type this out real quick and get it done. Okay. Sorry, I really should just talk through these, but it's early and I'm not quite into it. But you say, you're supposed to keep talking through these things. Maybe I should drag this over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, this last one is the missing mobile reality rules. One app for targets. Ways to ensure that mobile view is quality experience. In fact, considering this will be a first experience, we should be deciding on a mobile first perspective. Alright. In fact, actually, I want to add something to this response real quick to see if it could potentially update the design doc based off of something that I've learned recently. So that is, I want to look into being able to use Tori? Yeah, Tori. Build smaller, faster, more secure desktop and mobile applications with a web front end. So essentially, a sort of web wrapper to make mobile apps out of web apps. Okay. Let me just go through GitHub repo slightly. Well, I'll just ask him here. And considering we want this to be a mobile first experience, I don't want to do encoding in Kotlin or the iOS language. I don't remember what it is. And we use Tori as a wrapper to create apps out of the website for Android and iOS. Yeah, let's go ahead and ask that. All right. Now, back to planning out the day. So I guess, yeah, we're doing a few things before we can do this. But then the other thing, transfer test, You recently submitted. I really need to get the recently submitted Trello cards. This really is such a good idea, but it needs to be a later thing. So I'm going to kind of create. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call these our eventually tasks. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Create a natural demo environment on video. Yeah. Look at automated knowledge. I really want to get into figuring out. For this, I'm going to leave this as a primary task. This is something I want to do if I can today. Well, I guess technically, the today tasks are the primary task. These are secondary tasks, like if I can get to them. Oh wait, I need to, these are, alright. Primary task. Secondary task. Eventually tasks. So I want to have stuff in the eventually tasks category, so that I don't forget about them, because they are things I do want to do. And if you don't write things down, you forget about them. And for me, if they're not like consistently in my face, I forget about them. And so if I just make sure that I'm writing them down day to day, I was like, okay, I know I don't have to get through these today, but I do want to get to them eventually. Like I could, for example, add here, investigate OmniRoute plus similar repos. I need to really get good at this mouse thing. The scroll wheel broke. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say yes on that. Wait, I'm gonna switch over. There we go. Okay. Okay, so it's suggesting instead of using Tori, I use capacitor. All right, sounds good. We actually pitched today. We began working on the new SaaS plan so we can quickly get to the point where we have like serious value to offer people. Make Jack a business email so that cooperative compass marketing can still happen. Then in addition to that, if I have the time, do the transfer test demo thing for cooperative compass. Work on the recently submitted Trello cards for cooperative compass, and look into an LLM-driven open source social media management setup. A lot of work today, if I can get through it all. I'm actually feeling really good about these. Yeah, last night I had some realizations about how I need to make sure that I'm approaching all of this, because you can only do so much on your own, and I believe that doing things, hard things, but doing things like this with God works a lot better. So I'm gonna try to do everything I can to make sure that everybody knows that any success that comes from this is because of God, because I'm trusting Him, because I'm trying to really breathe through the day to day and give it all I can, but recognize where the blessings are coming from. Recognize where the ideas are coming from. Recognize that any success that I'm having is because he's given it to me. And that there's a sort of peace that comes from that. The outcome's not on me, and just the effort is. Even the effort's not on me. The effort's just something I get to choose. And it's the effort I put out isn't something uniquely special about me. But I still have to choose it. And there really is a peace that comes from that. I just get to try. And so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's get into this. Yeah, I think we can officially move this out of the way. So go ahead and get this over here. And then we're gonna pop that there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. And I don't know why this one keeps popping back up. Okay, let's check into this. Please review both before any future planning begins. Open questions are listed in section 11 of the design document. Resolve these before invoking a feature architect. Agreed. And also I'm going to want to... I haven't actually implemented the feature architect yet. It's in my other repo. But I want to make sure that I kind of carefully adapt it over to this one. So that way I can kind of read through its instructions and skills and making command and related commands to make sure it's good to go. Actually, I was going to try to zoom in, but sorry, you're probably not going to be able to read this really. Well, I can zoom in a little bit maybe. Then yeah, people on desktop can read it. Well, in a second. Decisions made during discovery and recorded as settled. Onboarding measures the carrier voicemail threshold with live test call and sets ring cutoff below it. 20 seconds, fixed 18 seconds send delay. 30 seconds total from dial. Now setting 2 automated messages maximum for unanswered first. After hours voice screening transcription instead of text. Yep. PWA with push plus SMS fallback. Yep. Hosted transcription behind a swappable interface rather than a self-hosted faster whisper, and PWA only with Tori explicitly rejected. A revisit trigger recorded. There we go. Two rejections documented with full reason, so they don't get re-argued. SMS relayed to the owner's personal messages app. Rejected on protocol grounds. SMS threads key only on peer number. No provider solves it. Yep. And Tori as a native wrapper, decisive factor. No first-party remote push plugin. This Windows cannot build or sign iOS. Right. 3 open questions I surfaced that you haven't considered yet. And I flag as the highest value once to resolve. They're numbered 5, 6, 9, and 9 in section 11. Carrier voicemail thresholds can be changed by a subscriber after onboarding, silently breaking missed call detection with no obvious signal. The onboarding measurement solves the initial case, not drift. Okay, that is a good concern. I'm not sure how we're going to take care of that. Did the owner call them back? Is the only cleanly detectable if callback goes through the platform. Right. If they dial directly from their cell, you may never see it, which weakens the suppression rule. Approved. When the platform is down, call still forward. Carrier side. Well, it sounds... Yeah. Okay. So I'm saying... Our section 9... Oh, wait, isn't... Application design? Technical constraints and decisions. Let me mute myself. Okay. Notification strategy. I'm not the biggest fan of web push, but it might have to be fine. It's a part of onboarding. It shouldn't be a huge deal. Decided against SMS relay to the owner's personal messaging app. Yep. Timing constraints. Carrier voicemail officials. Oh, in section 11. Section 11, open questions. Which vertical and which metro? Not chosen, no design partner assigned. This project is designed to be vertical agnostic at the code level. Default templates and onboarding. Copy Arc data, not logic, so it does not block build, but it actually does block writing the actual default message copy. Inherited permission. To be honest, I'm not actually asking. Open questions. I'm still not clear on what vertical and metro are. Please explain so I can better understand what you're saying. 2. Product price point. Working assumptions 100 a month, explicitly blending telephone unit cost modeling, cost to model per customer per month, number rental, inbound and outbound voice minutes, telephone bills per message, SMS plus carrier surcharges, the recurring 10 DLC campaign fee, the one-time brand fee, amortized, and transcription. Note that each missed call can generate up to 3 billable messages. The auto reply, possible second call calls, and SMS callback notification to the owner. So a heavy customer's cost of goods is materially larger share of $100 than a light customer's. That's why metered overage is not optional. It is what protects margin against the heaviest customer. Yeah. I see what it's saying. I prefer to have just like a straight up standard cost because it just makes it easier to like tell people how much it costs. But if I yeah. Then yeah, maybe what I do is I do 80 a month plus or 80 a month is like a base, and then whatever overage or meter things happen just gets tacked on top of that. Yeah, let's revisit pricing later when we have a better idea of what the cost will be for running the app. Current 10 TLC brand campaign fees and sole proprietor throughout the account solver by provider sources. So we will to revisit this later. Transcription provider selection Twilio native versus DeepGram versus an OpenAI Whisper API. Silent cost per minute and accuracy on noisy phone audio. The interference is specified. The implementation behind it is not. Or the interface is specified. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. Twilio native cost. Twilio pricing. Also, I'm just gonna pop open a notepad. And I'm going to stick it just on my other screen. So, let's see, conversation intelligence memory. I'm not sure any of that is needed because I'm going to be maintaining conversation stuff. Well, I'll try my best to, I mean, honestly, I could actually probably just have AI review this. So, Twilio current rates. These are found at this site. Okay, then we want to check on DeepGram API. Let's see, DeepGram costs. There we go. DeepGram pricing is found here. And then let's see, OpenAI Whisper pricing. Oh, we can do it through OpenRouter. That's nice. I like OpenRouter. OpenAI Whisper one pricing through OpenRouter. Go ahead. Start that again. All right. I remember. Let's see. Twilio. There's Telnix. Oh, that's right. Telnix. That's one. Telnix pricing. Wait, but does Telnix do voice to text? Because that's what this one is about. Oh my eye. All right. Let's see. Voice API. I'm not sure Telnix has voice to text. Oh, it's MTTS. Okay, I think they do actually. Oh, they have a few options. Qwen 3, 11 Labs. Okay. Here. Oh. So pricing. Please review the following web pages, which pricing information for various options. Okay, now we can get 2.5. Make sure that we're really thinking through all of this. Your voicemail threshold variance. Yes, the onboarding measurement handles the common case, but subscribers can change their own voicemail timing after onboarding. Silently breaking detection. Open question: should the system periodically re-verify? How is a drifted threshold detected in production without an obvious signal? It's a good question. So thinking about the customer experience, I want to think how would I most prefer this? Like if I'm there, if it's like, okay, I'm working day in, day out, something happens, my voicemail changes, I don't really notice it. Texts stop automatically going out to people who are calling in, and so there are just missed calls that I'm not seeing. That can potentially be a bigger problem. And so there does need to be some kind of verification thing. As I don't have access to system level stuff, I imagine probably that the best way to handle this would be to have it be part of onboarding to make sure that they know to not change their ring time, but then to make sure that they know that there's somewhere that they can go to request a retest of how long their ring time is. Or if there's a way to sort of auto detect that a call goes through, but that there's a few things here. Okay. So one of my /concerns is, will a text get sent to people who call but hang up before they reach a certain threshold? Because ultimately the two Boolean variables that need to be true before a text is sent is did the person call but not but their call wasn't answered, and has a certain amount of time elapsed since the initial call. So as long as those two are true, then we should be able to capture /detect calls and send response texts to them without texting people who do have their calls picked up, and without missing people who don't wait until the defined hang up time. And then what was the other thought I had for this? Let's see. Oh, the other thought is that in order to redefine the other thought that is more specific to your concern is that during onboarding, we will want to train the user to understand that they should, well, yeah, that they should not change their voicemail slash auto hang up time. That can help reduce things or reduce issues. I wonder if we can detect when calls come in, but texts don't get sent out to them, so we can detect that the voicemail threshold has changed. Then when that is detected, prompts the user to do a retest on the voicemail timing so we can readjust the timing and ensure no future potential missed calls are not texted. So I think that handles that pretty well. Point 6 here. What counts as the owner callback? The owner called them back. Right, so this is the issue of like, what if the owner just calls them back on his personal phone? Ultimately, that gets down to like, in order to make sure that doesn't happen, I mean, that just requires user training, right? And so like, I just have to be able to explain like, yes, you know, part of this is if you're paying for this software, you're gonna get lots of value from it if you use it, so use it, right? And so we just have to make sure that we're telling them to use it to talk to people. Obviously, like, they can use their own personal, they can just call people with their phone normally if they're just calling people. But if they're talking to customers that are showing up through this portal, then they need to be using the portal. So I think this just needs to be handled through user onboarding and ensuring that they understand that in order to get value out of this software, they have to use the software, which is, yeah, of course, pretty revolutionary idea. Let's see. Owners sell SMS fallback and consent notification texts to the owner's phone are themselves A2P on the same campaign. Confirm this is covered by the registered use case, and the owner's consent to receive them is captured at onboarding. Agreed. It should be captured on onboarding. Yeah, we just want to, as long as they understand, they will be receiving texts after a certain period of time if they do not respond to push notifications, to ensure that they are aware of people that they need to respond to. Easy enough. Data retention. How long are call recordings, voicemail, audio transcripts, and message bodies kept? Recordings carry storage cost and privacy exposure. Audit logs likely need a longer retention floor than message content for TCPA defensibility. No policy decided. As far as audit logs, when you find any industry standards which we should adhere to here, since audit logs can be stored in deep/long-term storage for a lower cost, I'd imagine that's what we can do there. But for the call recordings, voicemail, audio, etc., I want to keep those as short as possible. Voicemail, audio, I would prefer to keep, I guess, potentially over a weekend. I'll say an absolute maximum of a week, shorter if possible. Same with call recordings, maybe less. Ooh. Sorry, I'm having some stomach pain. Alright, let's see. If possible, I would like to get away with storing call recordings and voicemail audio for only 2 or 3 days, but then their transcripts I would want to keep for potentially up to a month. Transcripts are much cheaper to store than audio, so I would want to take a transcript first and audio second approach. Uptime expectations and failure behavior. No target is set, more useful than the number. Decide what happens when the platform is down. If the platform is down, we would want calls to still forward to the user, but after the outage, a text would get sent to users letting them know how long the outage was. If the outage occurred during operating hours, and if it was longer than, there's gonna be some level of downtime even in today's today's day and age, because like, for example, like I think most platforms, Render is one that I use for Cooperative Compass. They basically just switch off, like they launch a new instance and then they hand off to the new instance before pulling down the old one, and so you run into a situation where there's basically never downtime. And so that's what I imagine what this would be like. I would say longer than 5 minutes. That should be fine. 10, churn, tear down, reassigning numbers from campaigns is identified as necessary, but the full teardown sequence, number release, reassignment, data export, retention level, billing is not designed. I'm not sure where to start with this. Let's let this be a later problem. All right, we'll submit those over. Think about it. I need to pull this back over to this page where I will follow it over there. All right. So we can close out that, come back here. Yeah, let's look at, see what it would take to make Jack a, actually, that reminds me, we want to really figure this out. We need to come over here, Cooperative Compass, technical support. Did I not write down how I handle? Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Let's try to figure out how I'm handling the. I think I'm using resend. No, that's not it. Oh, wait, it is it? Okay. Well, I am using resend, but what's the I need to write down some documentation for this. So maybe I'd put this in technical support. Probably just create a new folder, operations, business, emails. I'm trying to remember services for creating an email address with your domain, but forwarding it to an already existing email. Improvident, I think is what I'm using. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what I'm using. Oh, alright, I guess we're doing that. I'm gonna pop over here. Sometimes Glaze Window Manager is a little bit iffy. I don't know if I should have all that information publicly viewable. Okay, so that's all email forwarding. Okay. Well, one thing that we can do come over to the Cooperative Compass repo. Oh, that's right. We don't really have a way to invoke Business Advisor in here. But I can say, I want to talk to the business. Well, honestly, I probably just need to actually just research. Let's see. Okay. I prefer just something I can run for free. I need solution involves my email port when receiving mail with transactional email APIs for sending. Yeah, because I use resend. I had to approve a thing. Well, the project architect is working on stuff. Versal, specifically the Versal Touch email and PM packages. Okay, that's cool, but my goal is to be able to create an email which a salesman could log into to have a more official look, I guess, for reaching out to potential customers. Oh boy. All right, there we go. Oh, I need to be done in a minute. Okay. Let's see what we can figure out before I need to be done. All right. All right. I just seriously zoned out there for a second. Let's see. Log into some email. Okay. Okay. Zoho Mail actually still. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Footer email routing. Forward emails to standard Gmail account. Outbound use system to be configured in your email. Yeah, that seems unnecessary. All right, I'll do Zoho Mail. I guess. Zoho Mail there, and then we'll call that good. As far as I'll work on implementing that later. I think for now, I need to end the stream and I need to get ready for work.